皆さんこんにちは。毎日少しずつ社交に使える英語の上達を目指すソーシャルイングリッシュポッドキャストへようこそ。今日はぜひもっと自信を持って英会話してみましょう。 Are you ready, Percy? Let's go!
You are on vacation in New York City. You met a local person who you are having coffee with at Starbucks. Now, you walked around earlier that day and you saw a restaurant. What you want to do is tell them about the restaurant that you saw. Hey everyone, this is the Social English Podcast. Once again, I am Percy, and I'm going to be leading you through today's dialogue and today's episode. And that is what we're going to discuss. Now today, we are going to discuss a question that one of the Japanese learners of English asked me to help him with. So I thought it'd be a good time to discuss it on the podcast today. So that's the situation, and let's go dive right into it. Okay. So the situation is you want to talk about a restaurant. This is what the Japanese learner of English said, and afterwards I will discuss the things that are wrong with it and substitutions, and then we will talk about the entire dialogue in correct social English using American English. Does that sound good? Okay, let's start. Japanese learner of English dialogue. In addition to that, there is the nice restaurant near from here. In addition to that, there is the nice restaurant near from here. But to have a natural flowing conversation, you want to say also or by the way. So your correction for the first part, also or by the way. In the second part, there is the nice restaurant. You want to correct that by saying there is a nice restaurant. Not the. In this situation, you will use there is a nice restaurant. In the third part, you have near from here. In this situation, you're already talking to the speaker. You do not need from. You are talking about where something is in location to where you're at, which is why you used the word here. So, all together, let's go over the correct way or ways to say this particular dialogue. Okay, let's start. Social English dialogue in American Natural English. Also, there is a nice restaurant near here. Also, there is a nice restaurant near here. Social English version 2. By the way, there is a nice restaurant near here. By the way, there is a nice restaurant near here. Okay, did you hear the differences? Okay. Now, personally, I would use by the way. For a more flowing, natural conversation, I would say, by the way, there is a nice restaurant near here. But in this situation, it is up to you, the speaker. You can say, also, there is a nice restaurant near here, or by the way, there's a nice restaurant near here. Both are okay to use, but by the way, just sounds a little bit nicer to me. Okay, that will do it for today. I am so glad you were able to join us today on the Social English Podcast. I am certain that you are still moving toward getting much better in your conversational English and approaching the natural English speaker level. Now, also, I'd like to say one more thing. I really would like you to subscribe to this podcast. When you subscribe to this podcast, you will be notified when we have new episodes so you could learn new ways of applying social English today. Please visit our website, realsocialenglish.com, where you can find many tools and tips and articles to read to help you understand the difference between written English and spoken English and natural social English. I prepared a free guide for you that you could download. It's called The 7 Mistakes Japanese Learners of English Make and How to Fix Them. All that we ask is for you to provide your email address so I can send it to you, and you can be notified of all the new great things that are happening here at socialenglish.com. So to listen to the podcast, go ahead and find us on all of your local podcast apps such as Apple Podcasts, Google Play, and Spotify, where you can listen to this podcast and share with your friends and other people that you know that are learning English. Once again, you can find us at realsocialenglish.com. You can also find us on social media at Real Social English on Instagram. Okay, that'll be all for today. Thanks for joining us today, and I cannot wait to see you in our next exciting episode where we will talk about an article dealing with the American holiday of the 4th of July. I know that some of you want to visit America, and I think it would be interesting and helpful for you to learn a little bit about what happens during that holiday in the United States. Well, thanks for joining us. Again, thank you, and have a great day. See you next time.
今日は楽しい時間をありがとうございました。ぜひ私たちのウェブサイト realsocialenglish.com を訪問して日本語訳と役立つ情報を手に入れてください。また次回お会いしましょう。バイバイ。See you next time. Bye bye.